There's only one place you can get merch like this, guys. So I went to game 3 against the Maple Leafs at the Air Canada Centre in Toronto. Now, you may be thinking, do you live in Toronto? Do you live near Toronto? No, I do not. Me and my good friend Brian, who was on the last review with me, we decided on the morning of the game, Monday, 7:30 a.m., get in the car, drive 9 hours, go across the border to Toronto, Canada, to cheer on our Boston Bruins against the Maple Leafs in Maple Leafs territory. And wow, what a atmosphere it was. So I get out of the Uber, I look up, and there it is, the Air Canada Centre. I've seen this thing on TVs many times, watched hockey many years. My favorite time seeing the Air Canada Centre is when we came back from 4-1 and you see all those people in Maple Leaf Square just leave. I was right there in Maple Leaf Square when I got dropped off in my Uber. And I was looking around, I was like, this is one of the mecca of hockey. This is one of the best locations to be to experience a hockey game. I knew this coming in. I did not expect it to be as good as it actually was inside of the building. So we get in, we get through the lines, and I'm being heckled at. I got my Marchand jersey on, and you may not know this, but he is the most hated player in the league outside of Boston. They really hate him. I got looks like, oh, you're wearing that thing in here? Oh. And I got yelled at like, hey, Rack, get out the way, like stuff like that. None of it was really hostile because Canadians are fairly, they're pretty friendly, in my opinion. But it was all in good fun, and I took it like a champ and went with the punches and played off it well, I think, while representing the Spoke Bee pretty well, in my opinion. So we get to our seats. We're about row 14 in the balcony, so pretty high up there, but I got 20/20 vision with these things on, so any seat in the house is a good one unless you got an obstructed view. And we sit down next to two Maple Leaf season ticket holders who have been there for 20 plus years. And I was a little intimidated because you never know what type of fans you're going to get in a away arena. You just never do. They could be very nice and be like, oh, how's it going? Like, how was the ride and all that? Or they could be like, go back to Boston! Like, you never really know what you're going to get with these guys. But luckily we sat down next to two of the calmer Leafs fans. And the guy I sat next with actually talked a lot of hockey with me. Big time Leafs fans. He's been there through all the misery that they've been through. It's sad for them as a franchise, but, as a Bruins fan, I don't care. If we're not winning, I don't really care who's winning. So, that just is how it is. Sorry, Maple Leafs fans. But great experience. I got a lot of hockey knowledge, and it's really different watching the game in person. And these guys pick up a lot of stuff that I would not watching on TV, like the neutral zone specifically. One thing that was pointed out to me during the game is how easily the Bruins were getting the puck into the zone through the neutral zone compared to how hard the Leafs had to work through the neutral zone to get into our zone. The Bruins set a lot of guys in very good spots to kind of stop Toronto from getting in the zone. I would have never noticed that on TV, but it makes a lot of sense when you see it in action from the balcony. I love seeing in the balcony because you see plays develop and you see everything happening. And it was just, they were great seats for what I was trying to do. And the atmosphere in the Maple Leaf Garden, or Air Canada Center, I don't know why I called it that. But great. The national anthem, the girl who did it, who actually sat 3 rows behind me in the balcony. That blew my mind. She was like 3 rows behind me and she had just sung the national anthem. She killed it on the national anthem, did a great job. And it really got the crowd erupted. The whole crowd singing the Canadian national anthem really had me feeling like I was in Canada. It was like the first moment where I truly felt like I was in Canada because, to be honest, Canada looks exactly like America. Just, you got Queen Elizabeth Way instead of like Route 120, I guess, or whatever. It just looks completely different when you're in the Air Canada Centre. But, you feel like you're in Canada once you're in there. I was blown away by the fans there. They're great. They're very optimistic about their team, but they're extremely hesitant because of the heartbreak they've been through. It's a weird thing to explain because you kind of have to be there to know what I mean. Because they'll get in your face, but at the same time they know not to get too cocky about it because they've been up before. Or they have had leads, or just they've been good teams that haven't won. So they're very hesitant to be optimistic, yet they're very optimistic. It's hard to explain, and I'm kind of rambling here, but that's just the only way to explain it. Okay, so the puck drops and the action is on, and I'm into it. Every hit, every touch of the puck, I'm just eyes on the game. And one thing my eyes told me as I was watching this game was we are being outplayed. This is how I expected the game to start, but I was not. I mean, seeing it and thinking it's going to happen is different because you hope you're wrong. But the Leafs, as you would expect, came out on home ice and absolutely tore it up for around the first 10 minutes or so. It really looked like they had something to prove. They definitely outplayed the Bruins this period, and they showed up ready to play, as they should on home ice. In a series that gets won in 5 games, I'm not saying this often, usually it's the home team, the team with home advantage, I mean, and usually the away team wins game 3 because they show up, they perform on home ice, and that's it. Now, I'm not saying that's it for the Leafs, but I'm saying it's a common thing, and it's a common thing for a team to come out guns blazing as the away team in a series on their first home game. So late in the first period, Riley Nash with the puck in his own zone, flips it up, it hits off the boards, and goes out of their rink. Now, I saw a lot of people complaining that the refs were awful in this game. Now, as that may be true, it's hard to tell from the stands. I will tell you this one thing. This call and others is not the reason the Bruins lost this game. You cannot blame the refs in this one. Yeah, I mean, puck luck, sure, you can blame it on that, but the refs, I'm not going to say that it was all on the refs this game. Now, this puck in replay clearly hits the glass. During the game, I couldn't tell, but live replay after, I could tell it hit the glass. So, Riley Nash goes to the box, and Bruins have to do some work on the penalty kill. They have a pretty good penalty kill, but sadly, Tyler Bozak, low right corner, throws it on net. JVR, who makes his money on the power play, gets the rebound off Tuukka's leg and slips it right under his armpit like here. Somehow Tuukka doesn't get it closed, and JVR gets a goal to start the game off for the Leafs. The Leafs are up 1-0. I was talking to the guy who's sitting next to me, big Leafs fan. He said JVR sucks. I told him, but he's good on the power play. I was right. Sadly, I was right. This is a conversation we have in like 2 minutes before the goal happened. It was weird how me and him were just talking about things and they kind of happened. I mean, I guess when you watch the game enough, you kind of get familiar with what happens. But sadly, the Bruins go down 1-0 early. But I still wasn't worried because it was the first period and I expected the Leafs to come out blazing, like shooting like from the hip on us, like basically. So the period ends, the Leafs are up 1-0. As I said, I'm not that worried because you expect the Leafs to come out like this on home ice. I'm still being heckled like crazy. I go to get a sandwich from the concessions, and all I get called is a rat. I know. Don't let Marchand's actions speak for me, but they're going to label me a rat even just because I'm in the Marchand jersey, and I'm loving every second of it. Give me all the attention. All of it. Give it to me. So the second period begins. Some time goes by, a minute 30 in, a Bruins and Leafs player are jousting in front of the net. They go down. They take Freddie down with him. Freddie's on his stomach. Krejci gets the puck, comes into the area, clear path on the net, like 80% of the net above Anderson is open. He shoots it. Anderson somehow whacks it out of the air and no goal. And Freddie makes a fantastic save. And at this point, I was thinking, no, he's not going to turn it on. The guy let in 3 goals on 5 shots last game. And he's going to go into God mode now? No, this can't be happening. So a minute or two later, Schaller gets the puck to McQuaid at the point. McQuaid rips a slap shot on Freddie Anderson. It hits Freddie Anderson, falls behind him, and slowly trickles into the net. Wait. Adam McQuaid scored? No, really? Yes, really. Adam McQuaid scores, and you're thinking that's just meant to be. You know, the Bruins are meant to go up 3-0. Someone like Adam McQuaid scores, you have a feeling you're going to win on that particular night. So moments later, I'm still celebrating the Adam McQuaid goal, but this celebration was extremely short-lived. Morgan Rielly down the sideboards to Mitch Marner. Mitch Marner, 2-0 because Marleau and Mitch Marner both beat their man. Cross crease to Patrick Marleau. It somehow squeaks through Tuukka, and the Leafs go back up 2-1. Are you kidding me, Miller and Krug? We score and you get caught sleeping right after it. How do you both get beat? How? I haven't even sat down yet from celebrating McQuaid's goal, and next thing I know, the puck is already behind Tuukka. What are you doing? How do you get burnt that bad? Unacceptable. You guys have been in the league too long to let that happen. Alright, 3 minutes later, Sean Kuraly brings the puck in the zone, does a little cutback, tries throwing it to Char at the point. It hits off a Leafs player's skate, goes to the boards, hits off the boards, still goes to Char. Somehow he got it to Char even though it wasn't the intended path. Char fakes a shot, beats Hyman. It was a very slick move by Char here. You don't see that too often from the big man. He goes towards net. He gets around the goal line. He throws it on net and right off and in. Past Freddie Anderson, and I erupted in the crowd. And you gotta remember, I'm in the Air Canada Center, so no one is standing but me and Brian. And I'm just looking to my left, looking for right, looking for Bruins fans to celebrate with. I can't find any, so I just start high-fiving Brian repeatedly like that. And I'm just screaming, and I know I'm annoying everyone around me, but I don't care because the Bruins tie up 2-2, and Zdeno Chara making a move like that, putting it past Anderson like that. Oh, I think we're getting the W in Toronto now. I think I'm walking out of the stadium gloating about how we're 3-0 up. 3-0. Can't catch us now. So 7 minutes left in the first period. And for the 9 billionth time, it seems, this series, Kasperi Kapanen gets one-on-one with Tuukka Rask, and he hits the post. I don't know how fast this guy is, but I don't think he's street legal. This guy every game gets a one-on-one chance because he just has blistering speed, and I don't get how he's on a team's fourth line. I don't really want to talk about this next part, but I have to. So around 6 minutes left in the second period, the Bruins first line gets caught out on a long shift. Willie Nylander gets the puck to the point, does a beautiful fake shot pass to a certain Leafs player who's down low circle, left low circle, and it's just Austin Matthews! And he has a thing that he does. It's called scoring goals. And he puts this one bar down, posting in. I don't know. It's a beautiful shot. And the whole Air Canada Center erupted. And at this point, I was feeling it. Like, you ever get one of those vibes that you're going to lose a game? This was that moment. And even worse, a player like Matthews, this could be that one moment. Snap. He's on fire. That could be this moment for him. Who knows how he is in Game 4 and 5. I'm a little bit worried about that as a Bruins fan going forward. And this was not a moment I like to see. The Air Canada Center buzzing because of this goal. I mean, and also, one thing to know about Matthews, that you're not going to know this unless you go to the Air Canada Center and look around. Every other Leafs jersey there seems to be an Austin Matthews jersey. If it's not that, it's a Marner, an Nylander, or mostly throwbacks of old players like Darryl Sittler or like Doug Gilmour or something. But Austin Matthews is every other jersey no matter that. And this goal is a backbreaker, and it puts Leafs up 3-2. So we move on to the third period. Now, I was feeling okay about the game. I really wasn't feeling too good after that Matthews goal, but we were still in it, in all honesty. And the Bruins and Leafs are kind of playing pretty even at that point. I thought the Bruins were starting to take over a little, but not much. And 26 seconds into the third period, Patrick Marleau gets a hooking call on Brad Marchand. And who's wearing a Brad Marchand jersey in the Air Canada Center? This guy right here. And guess who got a lot of flack from everyone around me? This guy right here, heckling. You want to? I got told to like pick my tampon up off the ice. Like, it was rough in the Air Canada Center at that point because when Marchand does anything that is bad for the Leafs, and you're wearing a Marchand jersey in the Air Canada Center, you're gonna get crapped on, and I did. But anyway, on this power play, Rick Nash makes a nice pass to David Pastrnak. I'm thinking goal, like I'm half standing already, and he hits the post. Oh my God, was his first line a tease tonight. And then later, Pastrnak, same power play, gets a one-on-one with Freddie, does a deke, left, right, looks like he's going to be in top shelf. I'm again halfway out of my seat, and it's saved by Frederik Andersen in the glove, and I get yelled at to sit down, and I'm just thinking, okay, that's all I can think. So we move on. 10 minutes later, a whole 10 minutes goes by. Not a lot of notable chances in this 10-minute gap that I can remember or recollect. But Tyler Bozak gets a puck in the slot, backhands it on Tuukka. Tuukka makes a save, but the rebound control a little bit poor. Luckily, the big man in JVR does not get a stick on this, and we escape. That is the luckiest moment in the game for the Bruins, and it was about time we got one to go our way there. Quick little side note that I noticed while at the Air Canada Center, a lot of Leafs fans are extremely critical of their players. And this is something you see a lot more in the Canadian market than I think you do in the North American. They throw constant little jabs at their own players, like little heckles. Like I heard Tyler Bozak called Tyler Slozak, and I got told that Jake Gardner has the eyesight of Helen Keller. They just throw a lot of these comments in here and there, and they're kind of amusing, but at the same time, like, I'm like trying to hate them, but it's kind of funny at the same time. So moments after this missed opportunity by JVR. Bergeron, an offensive zone faceoff, wins it back to Krug. Krug takes a slap shot from the point. It hits Freddie Anderson in front. The puck's out, but no one can get it. It finally comes down to Marchand, and Ron Hainsey makes a huge stick check to deny Marchand from sliding from behind the net to into the net. And that was a good play by Ron Hainsey, and another close opportunity the Bruins couldn't convert on. So 3 minutes left in the third. You're starting to get into crunch time. The Bruins really need a goal here. And Mitch Marner and Patrick Marleau get another opportunity, a 2-on-1 opportunity against Kevin Miller. Marleau has the puck on the left side. I believe he's a lefty. Sorry if I get the sides mixed up. Kevin Miller decides, I'm going to take off the pass because, they're probably going to do a cross crease like they've been doing. Marleau looks at that with his veteran instinct. He's got the brains up here, and he shoots it low glove side on Tuukka, and Tuukka kind of handcuffs himself, plus kind of goes a little deep in the net for my liking, and Marleau beats him, and this is a dagger right here. We go down 4-2 in Toronto in Game 3, and stick a fork in them. They're done. But it's the Leafs, Pat. 2 goals for them. 3 minutes. That's nothing. They've blown leads way bigger than that in shorter times, haven't they? Oh yes, they have. And the Bruins pull their goalie with about 2.5 minutes left. They got the possession deep in the Leafs zone. You feel a goal coming. You can smell a goal coming. I'm just waiting. I'm waiting. Finally, the puck finds Pasternak. He winds up. He shoots, and somehow Freddie Anderson from the other side of his net dives, and it hits his stick, doesn't deflect into the net, deflects away from it. How does this happen? How has there been this many lucky bounces for the Leafs? I just don't get it. It's just one of those games, you look up at the scoreboard, you see the shots, and you're just like, how do we not have more goals? And you look at Freddie, and you're like, that's how right there. So this would be the closest the Bruins would come to scoring, and the game would end 4-2. The Leafs would win. They move the series to 2-1, still in Boston's favor. So the Leafs gain a game back. But on the schedule, you look at this game, Game 3 in Toronto, and you're like, that's one the Leafs should win. That's one you lose. You're not too discouraged, but you're upset you lost. But the Leafs are a good team. They should win this game at home. Game 3, first game back. They're all rowdy to be back in Toronto. The crowd's got them going. They're excited for playoff hockey and all that. So if I was a Bruins fan, or if I was talking to a Bruins fan, I'd tell you, don't be too worried. You still have home ice advantage because you did what you had to do and you went at home. Get Game 4, and the series is practically yours coming back to Boston for Game 5. If I'm talking to Leafs fans, I say, way to go. You guys don't look like you're dead. Now, you guys win Game 4, you're right back in the series. Because I don't think they're right back in the series until they win Game 4 and they tie it. Because you lose Game 4, you might as well just count the Leafs dead. Even though you should never really do that to a team. I don't like their odds coming back to Boston down 3-1 for Game 5. But if I was to encourage a Leafs fan, I tell you, Austin Matthews scored tonight. That man turns it on. This series can flip just like that because that man is a monster among men. One of my favorite players in the league. He's a U.S. national player, so, I would have loved to see him in the Olympics. Thanks, Batman. But, besides that, great game to be at. I really enjoyed the atmosphere of Toronto. I look forward to going back. I'm legally able to drink there, which I'm not legally able to do in the United States, sadly, even though I don't drink much. It's fun to go to the bar after the game and talk to Leafs fans, hockey fans, just be social and all that. Thank you to the city of Toronto for being so kind to me in my short stay while I was there. And I look forward to reviewing Game 4. Now, this review was a little different, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I'm just going to end it here because, it's kind of hard to come up with my own thoughts on everything and all that after the game because I didn't get to watch on TV. And when you're in the stands, it's a lot more about the atmosphere and what you felt like at the game. So I don't really want to make too many judgments because watching from where I was, you miss a lot. So I don't really want to judge players too hard, except I judge them on the highlights and what I saw. So thank you for watching the video. If you liked the video, hit like and subscribe. I hope you like the editing I did in this video. I changed it up a little so there's less pauses and more energy. And I'm going to end the video probably with my Snapchat feed of pictures and a little video clip from the Air Canada Centre itself. Thank you. See you next time. Peace.
Number 44.